Test check. Test check 1. Test check 2. Test check 1. Test check 2. Welcome to another episode of Big Daddy's Take, Season 1, Episode 2. We was going to come at you tonight. Well, matter of fact, we still is, but we kind of was switching around and wanted we had a hard decision what we were going to come at you this week because of so many things that we got on our agenda. But we're going to come at you this week with addiction. I know a lot of people that's familiar with that word. A lot of people, that word scare a lot of people. I can remember that one time in my life, it scared me to death to hear that. But thank God for my experience. You know, I want to start off by one of the first steps to recovery from any addiction. And remember, this is my take. This is Big Daddy Take. And I always like to tell people, I'm not here to make enemies. But everything I say, you ain't going to agree to it. And you ain't going to like it. That's why I always say sometimes this show, on this, it's going to be risky business. It's going to be risky business sometimes. But I'm telling you, through my experience, that I came to believe that if someone tries some of the things that I did, you gonna get the same results if you do the same thing. It's what I'm trying to tell you. So remember, I always like to say, what go in this ear, what you don't want, come out of this one. But I pray that some will stay right there in the middle. Now, let's get back to what we're talking about. I always believe the first step to any recovery from any addiction is to realize that you got a problem. Some of the signs of problem. Health issues. Because a lot of addictions sometimes can cause anxieties. Depending on if we're talking about smoking, cigarettes, even marijuana. Anything that got something to do with going in your lungs and coming back out could cause shortness of breath, or it can just make you not really be a lazy person, but have lazy tendency because you don't really feel like it. It could cause some addiction can cause problems with paying your bills. Because you got so many addictions sometimes that can cost money, you know, lottery, casinos. And I'm not saying don't do these things. We talking about addiction. We talking about where your life become unmanageable. You know what I'm saying? At one point, I couldn't go in a casino. I couldn't buy a scratch off. I couldn't take one drink because one was never enough. And 1,000. Let me get it right. One was too many and 1,000. I get excited sometimes, but I get it right because I feel it. One was too many and 1,000 was never enough. Let me say it again. One was too many and 1,000 was never enough. At one time in my life, I didn't go inside an ABC store. Thank God I don't have to go inside one today. But like I'm telling you, at one time in my life, it was about 30 days locked down. Twice in my life. I'm just letting you know that I know what I'm talking about. So if you got any doubt what Big Daddy is, I'm only telling you and bringing to you my experience. Yeah, some of the stuff somebody told me, but it's some of the stuff that somebody told me that I went and tried and I realized that it worked. I told you it was going to be risky business. I'm coming at you a little different today than I did when I was talking about that coronavirus. Because I didn't have a lot of experience with that coronavirus. But when we talk about recovery, you're going to see the real Big Daddy. The one that at one time was walking up and down the streets of Greenfield Homes, not knowing where his next fist was going to come from. That's right, I see it. I ain't ashamed of it today. Because my past is not my future. But if I don't tell you none of where I come from, what's going to make you want to try anything or listen to anything I'm saying if I don't know what I'm talking about? That's right, I said walking up the streets of Greenfield Homes, not knowing where my next fist was going to come from. Going into rehab twice. One time for alcohol, one time for drugs. Thank God for my experience. I lived through it. I lived to tell the story. I got a story to tell. And I'm going to get back to that first step of coming to believe that you got a problem with addiction. But it's going to be first realizing that you got a problem. Somebody tell me how you going to solve a problem if you don't know you got a problem. You ain't got the friends you used to have. They not calling you up like they used to. You going over their house, you knocking on the door a long time. When they finally come, they getting in the shower. They sick. They get in the shower. They get ready to go somewhere. That's some of the signs that let you know you might have a problem. But I ain't here to scare you. I just know that you got to realize that you got a problem. You got to know the problem before you have any attempt to solve the problem. And most of the time, addiction probably ain't nothing you're going to solve by yourself. That's right. You're going to have to come to believe in a power greater than yourself that's going to help you through that problem. I don't want to come over here and say Jesus. I don't want to scare some of the ones who don't understand that your power might be at the first, your cousin, your sister, your doorknob. I don't care what your power is. As long as you come to believe in a power greater than yourself that can help you get restored back to sanity. Because you can't just... I know some people have had that awakening. But some of us ain't going to have that awakening where we just wake up tomorrow and boom, we got, alcohol going out of my life, cigarettes going out of my life. Most of us ain't going to have just that wakening up. Some of us going to have to go through what they call some steps. And for me, your first step is going to realize that you got a problem and then come to believe in a power greater than yourself that can restore you back to sanity. Yesterday, my power is Lord Jesus Christ. But I'm not here to preach to you on that. At one time, I didn't know what my higher power was. I just knew it wasn't me. I just knew my power greater than myself was not me. Sometimes it was my sponsor. Sometimes it was just anything, but it wasn't me. So what about Big Daddy? So I know I got a problem. Been knowing I got a problem. But what I do next, Big Daddy? Well, you know you got a problem. You already know you got to move yourself out of the way because I said you got to come to believe in a power greater than yourself. Because you need to be restored back to sanity because you got to be right. You got to have some good things. You got to be open-minded and willingness before anything can help you. Okay, Big Daddy, I'm ready. What else I need to do? I've been listening to you, but I feel the same way I feel. I realize I got a problem. What I need to do, Big Daddy. If you asking me what you need to do, you just taking one of the biggest steps you can take. because you becoming open-mindedness. Now, how we going to get that desire? I can't help you with no addiction if you don't have no desire. You may have been having a desire all the time and not knew what it was when some of them days you don't want nobody to see you smoking that cigarette, you hiding around the corner. Or somebody coming up, oh, I don't want them to see me. I don't like smoking around them. You may already have that desire where you don't feel comfortable around and doing it like you used to do it. When you wake up all hungover, throwing up, oh, this is the last one. But then you start feeling better, you want to go back. But that desire, no, that desire alone. Most programs have 12 steps. I'm not going to preach all 12 to you. Because I know that if I can get somebody, do you hear me? If I can get somebody that can realize they got a problem, if I can get somebody to come to believe in a power greater than themselves that can restore them back to sanity. Y'all don't hear me, do you? Let that sink in for a minute. And then get you to have that desire. If I can get you to do those three things, if my arithmetic right, the 9 steps will come later. Yeah, I'll show you. But I ain't going to give it all to you one time because then that's too much. Average food digests in 4 hours. You don't need so much that can't digest. So realize that you got a problem. It's okay. You've been reminded. Some people done told you. You had money for that light bill. You had it when you got paid. Friday evening, then you didn't have it Saturday morning. You didn't go pay it. You had the money. Your brother gave you that money for that water bill and that water still got cut off. You know you got a problem. But it's okay. We're trying to recover from that problem. We all had problems. That's how I'm able to tell this story today. I didn't write nothing down. If I make mistakes, that's okay. I don't have to write this down. I live it. Realize you got a problem. Come to believe in a power greater than yourself. And have a desire. Yeah, I buy scratch off sometime if I want to. I remember one holiday I took a little drink of champagne. That's right, I said it. But when I went into Narcotics Anonymous and Alcohol Anonymous 30 years ago, they told me at some point recovery is then possible. I'm not here to tell you if I'm recovered or not. I'm here to tell you I got a story to tell. That I'm proud of my life. My light bill is paid. My water bill is paid. My cars are paid off. My bills are paid today. But I can remember one time I would buy a car at tax time. Usually what? Come around and what? If you file fast, you know I was going to file fast. You know Big Daddy was going to file fast. 14 days. Car. In February. Make my first 2 notes. Borrow my second 3 notes from my mama. Borrow the next 3 notes from my daddy. Come June, what? They picking the car up out in my parking lot? Out of Southern Food? Addiction. But it's okay. I didn't know why I was having it then. I didn't know that 30 years later I was going to be able to tell somebody, to call somebody that knows somebody. And tell them Big Daddy Ridge T is telling his story live on Facebook, hoping that he can help one. All I want is one. And I like saying it because I used to hear the Reverend say, if all he can get is one. I know what he means. If you could just get one person to say, I bought one less scratch off. I didn't have to check out the casino before my days was up. Me and my wife ain't fighting about money today. if I could just get one person that can wake up tomorrow and their life be different because they tuned in to the Big Daddy's Take, episode 2 on addiction. Now let me tell you a little something about some of y'all that might have a few too many drinks and you just know that you want to stop, but you just can't. First of all, let me tell you from my experience, you ain't addicted to that alcohol. That's right, I said it. You ain't addicted to the alcohol. You addicted to the sugar in the alcohol. I'm not going to tell nobody to go drink some alcohol with no sugar in it because they have to make all alcohol with sugar. But if we had a way to take that sugar out of it, you won't be addicted to it. No more than you is water. And sometimes we forget to drink water. I got little children sometimes right here. I got to make them drink water. Let it be Kool-Aid. I have to slow them down from going in the kitchen. You know that cup of sugar in that Kool-Aid? A lot of times people get detox. I guess they got other ways now. They may have sugar shots, sugar tablets. But back 30 years ago, they were still drinking sugar water to stop you from shaking after you coming off of it. They didn't give you no more alcohol because you ain't addicted to the alcohol. They give you a little bit of sugar water because your body wants that sugar. So a lot of people that won't eventually get off drinking too much sometimes can get diabetes or other stuff because whatever the sugar can cause. Average pint of liquor takes about a cup of sugar to make. Average pint. I say that because I'd rather for you to have that desire to stop drinking and you're on day 2, you're on day 3. I'd rather for you to drink that soda. I'd rather for you to drink that cup of coffee with 3 spoonfuls of sugar in it. No, I don't want you to do that the rest of your life. A lot of people don't know when you go to Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous, why all these people drinking all this coffee? It's the sugar, baby. But one thing about it, they can drink that coffee and they go back, they're not fighting. They go back, they not, they go back and they still totally different. It ain't doing the same thing as that liquor or that wine was doing. So I'm trying to educate you on it a little bit because sometimes you need to know about something. If you know you're doing it, you remember that good feeling. You're still chasing that good feeling that you ain't getting no more. That good feeling to leave, I'm a witness. But you're still chasing that good feeling that ain't coming back. That ain't how our body works. We get older, we don't get younger. So I'm telling you, if you're trying to quit drinking, don't worry about how much sweets you eating and drinking right then. Don't worry about it. We get off the sweets later. Worry about that. Just don't drink the drink and eat the candy bar, whatever it is. We'll worry about that later. Takes what it takes. If you ever been in the program, they'll tell you it takes what it takes. Don't worry about the naysayers, the one that say, oh, you eating all them sweets since you quit drinking. Don't worry about them. You're going to have haters. Big Daddy telling you, you're going to need some sugar when you come off of it if you've been doing it some years. You're going to need some sweet. Unless you want to start DDTing or something. But don't worry about the naysayers. Getting clean going to be all about you. You're going to start having feelings. If you keep on going, you're going to have feelings you ain't never know you had. Tears going to come in. Don't worry about it. We got other steps for that, but I ain't going to throw too much at you one time. I might have them later on some more Big Daddy takes. But I'm trying to educate you on because so many people are doing things and don't even know nothing about what they're doing. I talked to some people, they thought they was addicted to the cigarette and all of that, the smoke or whatever, the tobacco or whatever. I said, you mean tell me if I take this nicotine out this, you gonna do it the same way? No, you ain't, because you're addicted to the nicotine. That's why they make nickel patches and all that stuff. I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. But if they take the nicotine out of a cigarette, you don't want that fire. You don't want that smoke. You wouldn't even want that tobacco. I told you it was going to be risky business, but this is some risky business that can change your life. I always like to pause a little bit because this stuff, if nothing don't sink in, ain't nothing gonna work. And when you try to recover, you ain't got to advertise it so much at the first because you're gonna be weak. You're gonna have a power greater than yourself, guiding. You don't need to advertise to everybody because you're gonna have naysayers. You're gonna have some people that need to be doing what you're doing that ain't doing what you're doing and want to pull you back out. That ain't what I'm going to show you. So let's briefly talk a little bit about. And I told you I don't write nothing down. So people say, yo, don't you write it down? I said, look, this show is free. I'm not getting paid. I'm talking from my heart. So if I mess up, so be. They know what I'm talking about. When you tell the truth, it'll set you free. So I'm here to tell the truth. So I don't care if I mess up. So let's recap a little bit. We was talking about addiction. Some of the first steps, trying to get rid of it, trying to overcome an addiction. To where one day you can have recovery from that addiction possible in your life. Yeah, I'm going to give you hope. Where one day you may can go to 1 mile instead of 100 miles. But believe me, don't be looking for that no time soon. But I'm a witness that recovery is possible. That you don't never have to be that same way again. Okay. Coming to believe that you got a problem. Coming to believe in a power greater than yourself. Do you hear what I'm saying? A power that's greater than yourself that can help you get restored back to sanity. Y'all hear me? And admit having that desire, which is probably already burning up inside of you. That desire has probably been there. I can't even tell you how long. I bet you I was in my desire probably, because I ain't had nobody to put a video out like this. I eventually bumped into somebody that told me something that led me to rehab. Well, they led me to pray about that thing. And I believe when I prayed about that thing, I believe my higher power guided me to rehab. But if I wouldn't have bumped into that person, because I'm one of them that believe that God talked through people, I'm not waiting for him to come down here on a Boeing 747 to tell me something. I believe he talked through people. That way he can get messages to me before my judgment day. But I believe I was in that desire for some years, because I didn't bump into a video like this. Because I believe if I would have seen somebody, I know I was willing to do some things if somebody would share it with me. But I was around a lot of the same people that was doing what I was doing. We didn't have no internet service. We still was getting up, turning our TVs with pliers. You remember that with the coat hangers and aluminum foil? Risky business. Our phones were still plugged into the wall. But I bumped into somebody that God, I believe, sent my way. But that still wasn't enough. I still had to drop down and pray. And next thing you know, I was in rehab. And still had to go back again. But that's okay. It takes what it takes. Because I didn't do what they said. I didn't do what they said. But it's funny Because once you get clean like that, you see everything you're doing wrong. I'm here to tell you people, less than 3 or 4, 5 months, I was back. I already knew what I had to do when I went back. I worked the 12 steps of a program. And now I'm here 30 years later telling this story. But you don't have to go back a second time. You don't even have to go the first time. If you listen to some of this, what Big Daddy takes it. Because I ain't going to leave you hanging. I'm going to come back with another episode because some of y'all going to be saying, well, what's next? But I'm going to tell you something. If I never come back with another episode, if you come to believe in that power greater than yourself that can restore you back to sanity, them steps going to come from you from somewhere. You hear what I said? Them steps going to come from you to you from somewhere. Reefer, marijuana. A lot of states legalizing it now. You know, the time when I left rehab that first time, I didn't go back to drinking. First time I went, I didn't have no big problem with drugs. Even though I found out alcohol was a drug. We'll talk about that later. But drugs like reefer, cocaine, back in the day, you know, they were snorting. I seen crack, but that was coming at the end. That wasn't, I had enough experience that I could share a story with you. And I believe my higher power had me to do it just one time so I can just have that story to share how to get off it too. But my thing back when I was coming along was marijuana. The drug that they say won't hurt you. That's what they were saying around my neighborhood. The drug that won't hurt you. The same drug that ran me back to rehab. And that was the only drug I was using. Same drug that used to have me laugh until I cracked my side. But by the time I went to rehab, it was crying without laughing. The same drug that had me acting like I had all this energy had me moving in slow motion. But I didn't know it. Just the people around me that worked with me knew it. Had me acting silly and everything. But the government finding ways to make money off of it. They give it to terminally ill patients for pain. But I'm here to tell you that addiction is something. I'm not here to tell you that you can't. I mean, you got people that can drink that's not alcoholics. I don't know a whole lot of successful drug dealers. If it is, I don't know them. But I know everybody that drink ain't an alcoholic. Some of them that have one is just enough. But I know the people I ran with. One was never enough. $1,000 was never enough. Actually, like I was telling you earlier, one was too many. And $1,000 wasn't enough. So I'm not telling you if they're any successful drug dealers, because reefer is a drug. And for some of us, reefer make us drink too much, talk too much, and act besides ourselves, the person that we forgot who we is. Hope that somebody called and wanted to talk live on the Big Daddy tape, but we ain't taking that yet. We have to talk to them later. We ain't taking calls yet. But I'm just telling you what reefer did to me. while I gave it up. It did the same thing to me that the alcohol did. I stopped paying my bills. I would buy my reefer and miscount my money. It would make me go back to the same place I went back when I was drinking the liquor. It made me hang with the same people. On woods, I wasn't drinking, but I was just smoking. I see my beeper. That's gonna about do it. I have to go over a little bit because I can't just leave in the middle of that. So we may go over 5 minutes. So I'm not here to say, because I know people going to say, reefer don't do me like this, reefer don't do me like that, reefer don't do this, reefer don't do that. If it do these steps. But the sad thing about it, you're going to have to start hearing signs around you, because sometimes you're the last one that's going to realize you got a problem. Reefer had me so tired sometimes, not where, oh, I can't breathe. I wasn't doing the things I'm doing now. And I'm quite sure if I smoke one now, I'm not going to do what I'm doing now, because I remember. But if you think you might have a problem, if you don't think you have no problem, that's okay, Big Daddy. I'm not here to run your life or nothing like that. But if you think you're having a problem with reefer, you're going to have to find something to do with your time when you try to come off of it. Because I ain't going to tell you, you can't drink no sugar water with that. What I found out to help when you coming off reefer, it's good if you can get to, I'm talking about people that ain't going to go to program. If you go to program, they're going to take you step by step. I'm trying to reach these people. Either I can get them to go, reach out for help and go to a 30-day program, or they can try some of this if you ain't going to go. Risky business. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, I recommend go to rehab. This don't take the place of that. But if you ain't going, you might well listen to Big Daddy. Because Big Daddy can give you some of the same stuff that you'll find out there. So this don't take the place of that. But if you ain't getting that same laugh that you used to get off that reefer, if you done tried all this kind, you done had Scania, whatever them names is, I don't even know the name of it. But you done tried all of it, but you can't get that same laugh. You ain't got that same sex drive that you used to have. When you and mama used to get that dime bag and y'all go all night long, it ain't like that no more. When you realize that. LOL. But serious business. When you realize everybody don't want you around like they used to, but everybody, you know what I'm saying? They always doing something when you come around now, but they don't want to hurt your feelings. I'm saying if a lot of that stuff going on, then do some of them steps, them 3 steps, you know. Realize you got a problem. You heard it from Big Daddy. Come to believe in something. Come to believe in a power greater than yourself. And at some point, you may be, it don't take much to be greater than yourself, because you may not be doing too good right now. So come to believe in something greater than yourself that can help you get restored back to sanity. Realize you got a problem. Look for the signs. See how it got started, how it is now. And God knows you don't know where to end up at, because you ain't got there yet. I remember how it started. I remember midways. I remember what it's like today. I can tell you the 3 different phases. Take that step. Take that first step. Realize you got a problem. Take that first step. Realize you got a problem. Come to believe in something, a power greater than yourself, that can help you get back to sanity, where you can become open-minded and willingness and have that desire that you got a problem. And you do that. And you practice that. Because you can practice that for a whole week. By that time, Big Daddy gonna have to run to take 2 weeks in a row on this because I can't leave you hanging like that. But I know you can work on that for a whole week and you will be ready for season 1, episode 3. We'll call it Addiction Part 2. Because you don't want to go making amends to nobody when you first get clean. You know, we all, when we living like that, we owe amends to people. You know, you borrowed that money, but you ain't pay it back. I don't want you to go making amends when it can cause harm to you or somebody else. I'm going to teach you how to make amends. You don't need to make no amends no time soon, but you're going to feel like you do. Don't do it. Don't do it yet. We have to do that when it don't bring harm to you or somebody else. I teach you how to do that. But I know that feeling going to come on you. But it's okay. You're going to have all kind of feelings if you take them 3 steps I'm telling you about. If the feeling get too bad, check in somewhere. Don't give up. Go check in somewhere. But I will talk to you about that. About where one day you got to sit down because now you done got clean and all this stuff running through your mind. I'm going to teach you how to put it down on paper. Because I'm going to tell you, it's something about when you put it on paper, it's gone. We're going to get it out of you. So don't be rushing to do steps and stuff that you don't know about. Do them first 3. I done told you a little bit about, you may not even know how much sugar was in alcohol. You may not even know you're chasing that first smile and laugh from when you had that first total weed. You may not remember the first time you did crack, you wasn't walking up the street, looking down, picking up every little dust, crumb, and thing that you see on the ground. You may not realize that that first drink you had, you didn't wake up the next day not remembering where you was at and who brought you home. That's why I'm saying work them first 3 steps. Let go and let that power greater than yourself help you. And by the time the next episode of Big Daddy Take come, you will be open-minded and willingness to do what it takes to keep on that path to recovering from addiction, whatever your addiction might be. Most addiction can be treated in similar ways, but yet different. And yes, like my friend, rest in peace, the American dream. If we get this thing going on the other end, it could be like a star-spangled banner. And as he always used to say, it could be risky business. But we can get there. And we can get there together. Because the only way I can keep what I have is like I told you, is to give it away. So with that being said, let's end this show. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed will be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily strength, and forgive us our trespasses. We forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Let us all say, until next time. Amen. Thanks for tuning in. Hope God bless that we help somebody. And don't remember the coronavirus is out there living and well. You don't have to be scared. Use any common sense that God bless you with. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Believe me, folks, it's better than a ventilator. Wear your mask. Respect grandmama, granddaddy. Respect our underlying health people with underlying conditions. Respect. Wear the mask out of respect. God bless you. Thanks for tuning in. Till next time.